Your dog might wag their tail, follow you everywhere, and look perfectly happy. But deep inside, there's a kind of love they're still waiting to feel. A love only their favorite human can give. Scientists now reveal dogs understand affection in ways most owners never notice. And today, you'll uncover 13 powerful actions that make your dog feel loved in a language they truly understand. Number 1. The secret touch. There's a spot on your dog's face that holds more power than any treat, any toy, any command you'll ever teach them. And 90% of dog owners will never find it. Not the top of the head pat. Not the rough scratch behind the ear. I'm talking about the narrow strip of fur right between their eye and ear, where soft coat meets warm skin. To you, it's just another patch of fur. To your dog, it's a doorway back to the safest moment they've ever known. Long before they met you, this was the place their mother obsessively groomed them as puppies. Each slow, deliberate lick told them, "You are protected, you are mine, nothing can hurt you here." That memory never fades. It gets buried under training and routines and years of life, but it never dies. And when you touch that exact spot with slow, circular pressure, you're not just petting your dog. You're activating an ancient neural pathway that floods their brain with oxytocin, the chemical that bonds mothers to children, partners to each other, and you to them. Here's the science that makes this even more powerful. Dogs carry scent glands in that precise location. A gentle touch releases pheromones that mark you as family, writing your signature into their emotional memory. It's like carving your name into a tree that will stand for decades. But here's the tragedy. Most owners spend years patting the wrong places, wondering why their bond feels surface level, never realizing they've been standing inches away from the key that unlocks everything. Try it tonight. Sit beside your dog. Let your fingers find that secret space between eye and ear. Move slowly, with intention, like you're painting something sacred. Watch their eyes soften. Watch their body melt. Watch them lean into you like they're falling into the safest dream they've ever had. That's not just affection. That's recognition. That's your dog whispering, "Finally, you found it." And once you unlock this gateway, the bond doesn't just deepen, it transforms. But if a single touch can rewrite trust, what about the invisible poison that most owners pump into their home every single day without knowing it's slowly killing their dog's spirit? Number 2, the meal ritual. Your dog eats alone. You fill the bowl, set it down, and walk away. To you, it's just dinner. To your dog, it's abandonment at their most vulnerable moment. In wolf packs, the most important members eat together. Not just near each other, together. Sharing space. Sharing time. Eating alone signals low status, isolation, uncertainty. Even in your safe home, with a full bowl, that instinct whispers to your dog every single meal. Why am I alone? Why did they leave? Most dogs develop what behaviorists call food anxiety. They eat too fast, gulping down kibble like someone might steal it. They guard their bowl. They become tense and rigid, not because they're aggressive, because they're scared. Now imagine a different scenario. You fill their bowl and you sit down beside them. Not hovering, not staring, just sitting, quietly existing in the same space. You're on your phone, reading a book, sipping coffee. But you're there. Watch the transformation. They eat slower. Their body relaxes. Some dogs will pause mid-meal to look up at you, checking if you're still there, then return to eating with visible relief. You've turned a moment of vulnerability into a moment of connection. Here's the deeper impact. Dogs who eat with their owners present show 50% less resource guarding behavior and dramatically lower stress markers in their digestive system. They're not just eating, they're eating in peace. This ritual takes 5 minutes. 5 minutes to sit beside your dog and tell them, "You're not alone. Even in this small moment, I choose to be with you." Over weeks, you'll notice something profound. Their entire relationship with food changes. The anxiety fades. The gulping stops. They begin to trust that resources aren't scarce and that safety isn't conditional. All because you stayed 5 minutes. That's all it takes to rewrite one of their most primal fears. Don't underestimate the power of simply being present in the moments your dog feels most exposed. Number 3. The chest scratch. Here's a mistake 9 out of 10 dog owners make. They approach their dog and immediately reach for the top of their head or their back. From the dog's perspective, that hand coming from above triggers an ancient alert system. In the wild, threats come from above. Birds of prey, larger predators, even a dominant pack member asserting control. Your innocent head pat can register as mild dominance or even a subtle threat. Your dog tolerates it because they love you. But tolerating isn't the same as enjoying. Now try this instead. Approach your dog and reach for their chest. That flat area between their front legs, right where their heart beats strongest. Scratch slowly in circles, applying gentle pressure. Watch what happens. Their eyes half close. Their breathing deepens. Some dogs will lean so hard into your hand, they almost lose balance. This isn't random. The chest is vulnerability. In a dogfight, the chest and belly are the targets. A dog only exposes this area to someone they trust absolutely. When you touch them there with gentleness and intention, you're honoring that trust. You're saying, I will never hurt you in your most vulnerable place. Research on canine-human bonding shows that dogs who receive regular chest contact from their owners display higher baseline oxytocin levels than dogs who primarily receive head pats. The bond is chemically deeper. But here's what most people miss. Location matters, but so does your energy. If you're distracted, scrolling your phone with one hand while scratching with the other, your dog feels it. They're reading your nervous system in real time. A present, focused chest scratch for 30 seconds creates more connection than 10 minutes of absent-minded petting. So tomorrow, approach differently. Lower your hand. Find their chest. Be fully there for 30 seconds. Nothing else. No phone. No distractions. Just you and them. Watch how quickly they realize this moment is different. Because presence plus touch equals something most dogs crave but rarely receive. Pure, undivided attention. Number 4. The morning acknowledgment. Between 5 and 7 a.m., something ancient awakens inside your dog. Long before alarm clocks and coffee, this was the hour of survival. In the wild, dawn meant one thing: pack roll call. Every wolf, every member had to be accounted for after the long, vulnerable night. And your dog, lying in your bedroom with 4 walls and central heating, still carries that primal drumbeat. Watch them closely tomorrow morning. The soft pad of paws on the floor. The gentle nose nudging your hand. The silent stare as you pretend to sleep. This isn't impatience or hunger. This is their version of asking. Are you still here? Did we survive the night together? Is my world still intact? Here's the part that rewrites everything. The way you respond in those first 10 seconds doesn't just affect that moment. It sets the chemical foundation for their entire day. One study found that dogs who receive morning acknowledgement show 40% lower cortisol levels throughout the day. Their appetite stabilizes, their play increases, their anxiety drops. All because you gave them one thing: certainty. A soft, "Good morning, buddy," a slow blink, a hand reaching over to touch their head. That's it. 10 seconds that tell them, yes, we're still a pack. You're safe. But ignore them? Roll over, shut your eyes, pretend they don't exist? Their nervous system floods with doubt. And day after day, that doubt becomes a wound. The ritual fades. The hope dims. Until one morning they stop asking altogether. Imagine loving someone so deeply you check on them every single dawn, only to be met with silence until it teaches you to stop caring. That's what we do when we ignore the morning check-in. So tomorrow, when those eyes find yours in the early light, Remember this: your first word might be the compass that guides their entire day. And if mornings can rewrite their happiness, what about the one place on their body that unlocks a love they've been waiting their whole life to feel? Number 5. The play bow back. Your dog drops into a play bow. Front legs stretched forward, chest low, rear end high in the air, tail wagging like a flag in a hurricane. This is one of the most universal signals in the canine world. It means, let's play, let's connect, let's be in this moment together. And most owners completely ignore it. They smile, say, not now, and keep scrolling their phone. Or they toss a toy absent-mindedly without getting off the couch. They miss what's really happening. Your dog isn't just asking for play. They're inviting you into their language. They're using their body to communicate in the clearest way they know how. And when you ignore that invitation, you're teaching them something devastating. Your language matters. Mine doesn't. But what if you spoke back? Next time your dog play bows, get down on the floor and mirror them. Drop into your own play bow. Front hands forward, body low, make eye contact. You'll feel ridiculous. Do it anyway. Watch their reaction. Most dogs freeze for a split second, stunned. Then they explode with excitement, barking, spinning. Some will immediately bow again, deeper, more enthusiastic, like they can't believe you finally learned to speak their language. This isn't just cute. Ethologists studying cross-species communication found that when humans mirror canine body language, it creates what they call behavioral synchrony. Your dog's brain recognizes that you're trying, that you're meeting them where they are. And that recognition forges a bond deeper than words or treats ever could. Think about what this means to your dog. They've spent their entire life learning human language. Sit, stay, come. Commands in English they don't naturally understand, but work tirelessly to decode. And in return, most humans never learn a single word of dog. The play bow takes 2 seconds. 2 seconds to honor their invitation. To tell them, your language matters. You matter. Let's speak together. Try it this week. When they bow, bow back. Get on their level. Speak their tongue. And watch how the respect in their eyes deepens into something that looks remarkably like recognition. Finally, someone who understands. Number 6, the name whisper. Your dog's name is the most important word in their vocabulary. It's the sound that means, this is about you. Pay attention. You matter. But most owners only say it when they need something. Come, sit, stop. Over time, a dog's name becomes a command, a correction, a warning. It loses its magic. But what if you reclaimed it? What if you said their name for no reason at all? You're sitting on the couch. They're across the room. You softly say their name, not calling them over. Not asking for anything, just acknowledging their existence. Watch what happens. Their ears perk. Their eyes find yours. And when they realize you don't want anything, when there's no command following, no expectation, something shifts in their expression. Confusion at first, then understanding, then something that looks remarkably like joy. You just said their name to remind them they exist in your world. Canine cognition research shows that dogs distinguish between functional name usage and affectionate name usage based on tone and context. When you say their name, softly, with no command attached, their brain registers it as pure positive reinforcement. You're not training them. You're loving them. Try this experiment. Once a day, say your dog's name softly when you don't need anything from them. In the morning when they're sunbathing. In the afternoon when they're napping. At night when they're curled up across the room. Just their name. Soft. Warm. No follow-up. Watch how they start seeking you out more. How their eyes track you more closely. How the bond tightens like a string, being tuned to the perfect pitch. Because here's the truth. Your dog hears their name and thinks of you. Every single time. By saying it with love, With no agenda, you're programming that association to be pure. No anxiety, no obligation, just connection. Most dogs go their whole lives only hearing their name when someone needs something from them. Imagine living like that. Your name becomes a burden, a signal that you're about to be used. But when you say it for no reason except to acknowledge them, you give them something rare, the feeling of being seen not for what they can do, but for who they are. Number 7, the breaking point. Your dog has a breaking point. And every single day, you might be stepping right past it. You think you're showing love, your hand running down their back. Fingers digging deeper, scratching harder, chasing that wagging tail like it's permission to keep going. But love has a line, and dogs draw it in whispers, not screams. Their body is screaming at you right now, and you're not hearing it. Watch for these signals. A tail that suddenly flicks sharp, like a whip cracking. Skin that ripples and waves under your touch. Ears that rotate backward. Weight shifting away from you. Pupils expanding into dark, glassy pools. These aren't quirks. They're distress flares. Your dog's nervous system is begging you to stop. But because they love you, because they trust you, they rarely bite or growl. They just endure it. And every time they endure it, they're building what scientists call a stress debt. Day after day, that debt accumulates. Until one day, it explodes in aggression, in hiding, in anxiety disorders you never saw coming. Here's what most owners never learn. When you respect that signal, when you pull your hand back the moment you see it, something profound happens in your dog's brain. Instead of bracing for discomfort, their body releases GABA, a neurotransmitter that reinforces calm and trust. You've just proven something most dogs never experience. That you listen. That their voice matters. That love doesn't mean enduring pain. It means being heard. Think about the people you trust most in your life. It's not the ones who shower you with affection. It's the ones who stop when you say stop. That's the love your dog is dying for. A love that respects boundaries is the rarest love of all. And here's the heartbreak. Most dogs will live their entire lives with owners who never give them that gift. Don't be one of them. Because if stopping at the right time can rewrite trust, what about the way you leave them behind every single day, carving a wound so deep it never heals? Number 8, the goodbye ritual. There's a moment your dog dreads more than anything else in the world, and it starts long before you walk out the door. The jingle of keys, the rustle of a jacket, the click of a zipper. To you, it's routine. To your dog, it's a siren screaming that the worst is about to happen. You're leaving. And every single time, the same terror floods their body. What if this is the time you don't come back? Here's where most owners destroy their dog without meaning to. Some ignore their dog completely, slipping out in silence like disappearing will make it easier. Others do the opposite, kneeling down for long, emotional goodbyes, voice breaking, holding them tight, tears in their eyes. Both approaches carve the same scar. They teach your dog that your departure is a crisis, that leaving equals loss, that every goodbye is a small death, but it doesn't have to be. Behavioral scientists discovered something powerful. What your dog needs isn't your absence, and it isn't your drama. They need a ritual, a predictable, emotionless signal that says, "I always come back." One phrase spoken the same way every time. A specific toy that only appears when you leave. A treat placed in the same spot. These tiny patterns become anchors. They transform chaos into certainty. Dogs with departure rituals show 60% less separation anxiety. They eat normally while you're gone. They rest instead of pacing. They wait with confidence instead of fear, because you've given them a story they can trust. But without it, many dogs spend hours in a state of hypervigilance. Heart racing, breath shallow, immune system breaking down from chronic stress. All because no one taught them in a language they understand. You will return. So create your ritual today. Make it boring. Make it consistent. Make it a promise your dog can hold on to when the door closes and you vanish from their world. Because if how you leave can heal or wound, what about the times they need you most? When sickness steals their strength and all they're begging for is something you might never think to give. Number 9. The shared gaze. Here's something that will change how you look at your dog forever. When you lock eyes with them, really lock eyes. Not a glance, not a passing look, but a sustained, soft gaze lasting even just 30 seconds. Both of your brains undergo the exact same chemical transformation that happens between a mother and her newborn child. Scientists in Japan discovered this by accident. They measured oxytocin levels in dogs and their owners before and after eye contact. What they found shocked the research community. After just a few minutes of mutual gazing, oxytocin levels in both species spiked by over 300%. The same hormone that bonds parents to babies. The same chemical that makes love feel unbreakable. Dogs hijacked the human bonding system. They learned to plug directly into the most powerful connection mechanism we have. But here's what breaks the pattern. Most modern dog owners barely make eye contact anymore. We're looking at screens, scrolling, distracted. Our dogs sit beside us, staring, waiting for that gaze, and we never give it. Over time, they stop asking. The pathway weakens. The bond that could have been something extraordinary becomes something ordinary. Try this tonight. Put your phone down. Sit face to face with your dog. Let your eyes meet theirs. Don't stare aggressively. Soften your gaze. Blink slowly. Breathe. Hold it for 60 seconds. Watch what happens. Their body relaxes. Their eyes soften. Some dogs will look away briefly, then return, like they're checking if you're still there. That's them testing if this moment is real. Stay with them. Because in that minute, you're not just looking at your dog, you're rewriting the architecture of your relationship at a molecular level. And if a gaze can create that kind of bond, imagine what happens when you bring them into the one place most owners never think to include them. Number 10. The cold weather care. You come back from a winter walk. Your dog is cold, paws icy, coat damp, maybe even shivering. And what do most owners do? They towel them off quickly and move on. The dog warms up eventually. They survive. But survival isn't the same as being cared for. Here's what most people miss. Dogs remember physical discomfort more vividly than physical comfort. A study on canine memory found that negative physical sensations, cold, wet, pain, leave deeper neural traces than positive ones. That post-walk chill isn't just uncomfortable, it's a memory being written. Now imagine this instead. You come home from a cold walk. You grab a towel, but not just to dry them off. You wrap them in it. You rub their body firmly but gently, creating friction, generating warmth. You pay special attention to their paws, drying between each pad where ice and salt accumulate. You bring them to a warm spot, maybe near a heater or in a sunbeam, and you sit with them for 5 minutes while their body temperature normalizes. Watch what happens. They don't just warm up, they melt into you. Their eyes soften, their body goes slack with relief. Because you didn't just end their discomfort, you actively cared for them through it. This is the difference between an owner who provides and an owner who nurtures. Providing is filling basic needs. Nurturing is noticing when they're uncomfortable and doing something about it. Dogs whose owners engage in post-walk warming rituals develop something behaviorists call secure attachment. They learn that discomfort doesn't last because someone will notice and help. That builds confidence. That builds trust. Try this after every cold or rainy walk. 5 minutes of active warming. Towel rubs, a warm spot. Your presence. It's not about spoiling them. It's about showing them that their comfort matters to you. That you notice when they're struggling. That love isn't just big gestures. It's small acts of care that most people overlook. Your dog won't remember every walk you took together, but they'll remember the cold walk where you wrapped them in warmth. That's the memory that lasts. Number 11. The waiting acknowledgment. Your dog waits for you constantly. While you shower, while you cook, while you work from home, while you watch TV. They wait by the door when you leave. They wait by your bed when you sleep. Waiting is the constant background hum of a dog's life, and most owners never acknowledge it. They take it for granted. Of course the dog waits. That's what dogs do. But waiting is a choice, every single time. Your dog could demand attention. They could bark. They could paw at you. They could make your life difficult. But they don't. They choose to wait patiently because they love you. And that deserves recognition. Here's the powerful shift. Next time your dog has been waiting, lying quietly while you finish something, acknowledge it. Look at them and say, "Thank you for waiting. You're such a good dog." Not a command, not a correction, just gratitude. Watch their response. Most dogs will wag their tail. Some will stand up, energized by the recognition. Others will simply hold your gaze longer than usual, like they're trying to memorize the moment someone finally noticed. Behavioral psychology shows that acknowledging desired behavior is 10 times more effective at reinforcing it than correcting undesired behavior. But more importantly, it builds emotional depth. Your dog learns that their efforts are seen, that patience isn't invisible, that love flows both ways. Most dogs spend their entire lives waiting without ever hearing thank you. Imagine loving someone so much you'd wait hours, days, years for their attention, and never once hearing them acknowledge the sacrifice. That's what most dogs experience. But you can change that, today. Next time they're waiting, watching you with those patient eyes, stop what you're doing for 10 seconds. Look at them. Say thank you. Mean it. Because gratitude might be the most underutilized tool in building a bond with your dog. And it costs nothing except awareness. The awareness to notice when someone is quietly loving you by asking for nothing in return. Number 12. The sound of silence. Here's a truth that will disturb you. Your dog doesn't just hear you. They need to hear you the way humans need oxygen. And when they don't, something inside them begins to die. Scientists studying canine development discovered something haunting. Dogs raised in homes filled with human voices develop richer, more complex brain structures. The auditory cortex expands. Neural pathways multiply. They learn to read emotion, tone, intention. But dogs raised in silent homes, where owners barely speak, where the TV stays off and conversation is rare, those dogs begin to wither. Not physically, emotionally. They develop what researchers call selective mutism, a state where they stop trying to communicate because they've learned no one is listening. Imagine spending your entire life trying to speak to someone who never responds. Eventually, you'd stop believing your voice mattered. That's what silence does to dogs. And here's the twist that most owners miss. It's not about commands or training words. It's about the mundane, the ordinary, the constant hum of human speech that tells your dog, "You exist in my world." Talk to them while you cook. Complain about traffic while they sit beside you. Narrate your day as you fold laundry. They don't need to understand the words. They need the frequency, the rhythm, the proof that they're woven into the fabric of your life. But here's the mistake 8 out of 10 owners make. They use baby talk. That high-pitched, squeaky voice we think is cute. To a dog, it sounds like the distress cry of an injured puppy. It doesn't soothe. It activates their anxiety. What they crave is your real voice, the one you'd use with a friend. Steady, warm, carrying the weight of safety. One study found that dogs can distinguish between when you're talking to them versus talking about them, and that difference shapes whether they feel connected or invisible. So fill your home with sound, not noise, connection. Because a dog who hears your voice every day learns they matter. A dog trapped in silence learns they don't. And if sound can build or break their world, what about the one boundary you cross every single day without realizing you're teaching your dog that love means ignoring their pain? Number 13. The permission to rest. Every dog knows when the end is coming. Long before you're ready to admit it, they feel it. The weight in their bones, the fog creeping into their vision, the way each breath becomes a little harder. Instinct tells them to hide it, to push through, to keep going. It's a survival program written into their DNA. But in the quiet of your home, that instinct becomes torture. They want to let go, but they're holding on for you, waiting for something only you can give. Permission. Here's what most owners never understand. In those final days, your dog isn't just listening to your care. They're listening for your voice, specific words, sacred words. When you lean close and whisper, "You've been so good. You are so loved. It's okay to rest now." You're not just comforting them. You're releasing them from a burden they've carried in silence. Their breathing steadies, the tension in their muscles softens. Cortisol drops. Even as death approaches, peace replaces panic. Think about this. Your voice has been the soundtrack of their entire existence, the first sound that made their tail wag, the call that brought them running through rain, the laugh that made them jump higher. How could it not also be the voice that carries them across the final threshold? Without those words, many dogs cling to life far past comfort, anxious, restless, unsure if leaving will break you. With them, they finally understand. We're okay, even if I go first. And here's the truth you need to face. Your dog will only die once. That last memory, those final moments, will be the last thing they experience in this world. Will it be confusion? Or will it be your voice, steady and loving, telling them what they've always deserved to hear? You don't get a second chance at this. Most owners realize too late that they had the power to give their dog the most peaceful goodbye imaginable. And they missed it. Don't be one of them. Because when you combine this final act with everything else, you create something unbreakable. Not just a bond, a legacy. And that leads us to the 3 acts most owners never even consider. Which one are you trying first? Drop it in the comments. And if this changed how you see your dog, subscribe, because next week's video might save your bond before it's too late. Your dog is waiting. I'll see you in the next one.